So I decided to work on my make market, and they're small little canvases, floral, of course. They are the sunflower, and I'll show that to you right here. It's okay, Toby. The sunflower and the irises, I believe is what that is. So they're little snack size, I think, what are they? 5.9 by 5.9. And I started this last night, and it's early. I usually don't do videos this early, but I have a few minutes, and I thought I would hop on here while I'm doing my dotting of my sunflower. And I really like these containers because when I only have a few to add, I like holding my tray, and this is really easy to hold. I can either hold it by the lid or I can hold it underneath, and I don't feel as clumsy like I do when I have just a flat tray. But anyway, it's Friday morning. I've already taken care of the animals. Well, almost. I've got to feed the gecko. And Toby is not really wanting to eat just yet, so I'm hoping by mid-morning he gets a few bites down him. But other than that, it's going to be a good day. Took a nice long walk and drank my protein shake. So I just was thinking too when I started working on this what a stress reliever this is, with the dogs that I've had problems with on and off, well, every day. Without diamond painting, I don't know what I would do. I mean, I'm sure that it has reduced my stress level because, as you guys know, as diamond painters, it's a very relaxing craft where you could just take a deep breath, and the motion, the repetitive motion, and the color, and the self-accomplishment that you feel when you finish, and the beauty all plays into this therapeutic hobby. Yeah, I was thinking about doing those cockatoos, which is also a Miichael's product. But I saw these in the basket in my stash, and I was like, I forgot about those. And they're such small little snack sizes. I thought this would be a great thing to complete and take to my diamond painting party also. So people can get an idea of small size in comparison to large, and the detail that you see between the two. Well, there's lots of different sizes, but the sizes that I'll have to show them, they can see, what I'm talking about when I tell them that a lot of detail needs to be in a larger size in order for it to really stand out. Okay, any more L's? Yeah, there's a couple more there. This is such a cheery little painting. I like the tones that they have in the little vase that this flowers in. It's more like a cup. But it's got dark blue, light blue, medium blue, light purple, dark purple, medium purple. And the sunflowers have two different shades of orange, a red, and a yellow. Really, really pretty. Okay. Let's see. these came with their own little labels. They're not adhesive, but I cut them out and I added them to these little containers with a glue dot. I really like the glue dot idea, but now I've gone through quite a bit of glue dots because these two paintings share the same colors, and there were 30 colors in the kit. So yeah, I love actually I'll take, no, I don't want to take the camera off because it's hard to put it on. I've got the kind of tripod where you have to stretch the holder up and down, and sometimes it's hard to get the phone in and out. So I just wanted to show you how pretty all the colors look in these little containers, but maybe another time. So what are your plans today? Do any of you have any fun tasks or fun things on the agenda? I may be going to Goodwill today. I haven't been there in a couple weeks, just to check it out and see what people are donating. Sometimes you can find a treasure. And I have to go to Walmart because, oh my gosh, what a hassle this is. So I bought gift cards for my grandson's teachers at church. He's got 2 religious education teachers, and they both teach the same class, but because it's kindergarten, 1st grade, they had 2 women in there. And so I got them each a gift card, and then Maddie's choir director and piano teacher, I got him a gift card, and the choir director's assistant, I got her one. So I got 4 $20 gift cards from Walmart and it lists like 6 or 7 different restaurants, and 3 of the restaurants are right here in town. So I thought, well, this is good. They can, they'll have a choice. So I wasn't even really feeling that comfortable with the cashier because I had 2 items that I changed my mind on, and I put those right in the front of my, my groceries. And when she made eye contact with me, I looked at her and I pointed to the 2 and I said, I changed my mind on these. I don't want these 2. And she looked away, and I was like, I know she heard me. And then she right away grabbed those 2 items and rang them up. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't want those. And she kind of snapped at me and said, well, you had them right with your stuff. And I said, well, I apologize. I thought you heard me. I told you I didn't want those. And she got really kind of snappy with me and said again that I had it mixed in with my other stuff. But so anyway, when it came to the gift cards, she really had an attitude with me. And I had a funny feeling about it. I mean, the gift cards rang up, but I don't know, I just had a bad feeling about it. So anyway, I stuck them in the card and I gave them to the people that I wanted to give them to. And a couple weeks ago, one of the ladies, one of the teachers came up to me and she said, I tried to use the gift card that you gave me, but it didn't work. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, it's been a big hassle. She says, I've called the number on the card. I've talked to several people. One man accused me of trying to use it twice, that it had already been used. And she said, I have all the paperwork. I documented everything, all the conversations. I went online and did what they told me to do. And one thing that one of the people told her to do was she had to go online before she used it, choose the restaurant that she wants to use, and activate the card. And I said, that doesn't sound right, because on the card, it's, on the cardboard part of the card that it comes on, it says the card isn't activated until it is, rung up at the register, or something to that, And I said, and I have the receipt, but it has all of them on there. That's why I didn't give everybody an individual receipt or anything. So I went to another person that I had given the card, and I asked if they had, used it. And they said, well, I wasn't going to say anything, but it got declined. It was not, that there was something wrong with the card. And I was like, oh gosh. So then I asked the third person, and they hadn't tried to use it, but they said, don't worry about it, I said, well, I am, worried about it, because, I did pay for them, and it was a gift. So I need to go to Walmart. It says, they're non-refundable and all that, but before I do anything with trying to dispute it with my bank, I'm sure I've got to talk to Walmart, because I'm sure the bank's going to ask if I tried to settle it with the retailer. But has that happened to any of you? Have you had any success in doing anything about it, like getting refunded? I've just been putting this off for way too long. I need to do something about it. They're probably like a month old. But I don't know. It might not be the cashier's fault, because they are rung up on the receipt. So I will show that to customer service. But I don't know why they're not working. And maybe they can give me a tip or a hint. But I know the one teacher, she talked to several people, and they all claimed the card had been used. I don't know. I think from now on, I'll just give them cash, or I'll go to a place where you get an individual receipt for each gift card. So I do need to do that probably today. Get that straightened out, or at least attempt to straighten it out. Some of these rows I could multi-place, and I did do some multi-placing. The only thing with the multi-placing on this particular canvas is they're not spread out. They're not equal. Like, the rows don't match up. In other words, if I use a straightener, some of the rows kind of, just slightly move. Like, I'll show you an example. Those are pretty straight. Okay, so at the top here, you can see the X's, and they're not straight. So when I multi-place, I have to go back anyway and adjust everything. So even though it looks like it's color blocking, and it is in a sense, they're not straight. They kind of wobble around and curve and twist, and they're in what is very similar to guide circles. So you have to center them, or you're going to see the background, and the background is white and not the color of whatever pattern you're doing. So you really have to, and the stick's incredible. Once again, I have a super sticky canvas, which is great, but they don't slide around very easy. You really have to push hard to get them into place. I think my household is waking up. I hear some noises downstairs. I made my grandson something for breakfast yesterday that he has never had before. And he loved it. So I told him about when I was a kid how my mom would make us peanut butter toast with sliced bananas. And he just looked at me kind of funny. He didn't make a face, but he just looked at me like, for real? I said, I think you'd really like it, Matthew. And so he said, okay. So I made him one slice of toast, peanut butter, sliced half a banana, put it on there. And the first bite, I hear him going, yum. Yum. I said, I take it you like it. He said, yeah. So he ate the whole slice of toast. And he said he was full, which, you know, that is a filling. But he's always full until a half an hour later and he's hungry again. I think he just burns off his food really fast. But I still eat that every once in a while. Bright yellow. It's really pretty. I love all these yellows and oranges. Almost halfway done. I split the canvas in half, and I'm working up, and then I'll do the left side. I didn't work on my rug. I keep calling it a rug, but it's a pillow. That latch hook, I didn't work on that last night like I had wanted to because I got really involved with this and didn't want to stop. And then when I finally laid down to rest a little bit, my dogs wanted attention. Well, Toby, he's a night owl. Right away he came over and he wanted to nuzzle and play a little bit. So I thought, I'm not getting out my pillow while he's climbing all over me and wanting love and attention. So I gave him that quality time. Dottie was sleeping. When I pet him, Dottie, if she's awake, she comes running over. She gets really jealous. Of course, I share my pets and hugs and try to give them equal. I took Toby off his trazodone. I didn't really see it helping him. And now that I've had him off of it for probably a week now, he seems better than when I had him on it. And I did read side effects, and one of them said that it could make your dog worse. In other words, whatever you're trying to help, it could be worse than the original behavior. So he was acting more and more afraid, not eating, which that's still an ongoing problem, but I just feel like having him off that trazodone now has helped him. You know, he's gotten better than where he was, so I just don't think that was the right medication for him. I don't want to put him on anything, really. I've resisted for the whole year and a half I had him, and then I thought, well, maybe it would really relax him, but it really didn't. So I think that he will always be Toby. I don't think there's going to be much change in his behavior. I could be wrong, you know, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope that he relaxes one day and isn't afraid of everything, but I'm not counting on it. But as long as he doesn't get worse, I can deal with that and try to keep him calm and give him the best life that I can. He's just so funny because he has a daytime persona and a nighttime persona, and they're different. His daytime is fear and anxiety, and his nighttime is fear but playfulness. So he can be fearful if, like, he hears somebody in the house, or I don't know, just so many things. But he also gets very loving and playful at night, whereas during the day he's not like that. Lately, he's been sitting in the chair when I'm not ready to go to bed and I'm staying up really late. There's a chair next to my bed that they can hop onto the chair and then hop onto the bed, because it's too high for them to hop on from the floor. But anyway, he'll get in the chair and he'll just face me, sitting here at my desk, and he'll just wait patiently, watching me, wide awake, and he'll just sit there like a statue. And then when I finally get up and put things away and come to bed, then he climbs into bed and gets under the covers. But it's like he's just waiting for me patiently. He gets excited too as soon as he sees that I'm wrapping things up. Animals all have their own personalities, just like people. This is I. My bird is singing. He's very happy. Of course, he's watching his bird TV. And there's quite a bit of activity with the birds outside the window too. I have a dove that flies up to my hurricane shutters. That I have these built-in hurricane shutters, and there's a ledge, and I don't know if she has a nest up there. I haven't seen like any babies or anything, but she goes back and forth. She probably does have a nest up there. But of course, my bird inside, it's always keeping an eye out for her. gives him a little bit of excitement to see her coming and going. And she looks in the window because she'll sit on the edge and turn towards the window, and she can see in. I don't know if you could hear that, but that's my bird singing. He's a little finch, Lady Goulden. I don't know what birds are on the TV right now. Oh, I think they are finches. Yeah, he's singing to the other finches on TV. It's not a TV, it's my Chromebook. But he watches every day. Okay. Almost done with this side. I need the equal sign. This is a pretty pink. So I plan to work on this and my purple irises today. And I plan to finish them today. I'll see if that happens, but I think I can get both of them done before the end of the day. I know I have to go get my hair done at 3 o'clock, and that's going to probably take at least an hour. And my hairdresser and we talk a lot, so it could take longer. She does my hair at her home, and so she doesn't live far from me. And she's been doing my hair for maybe 3 years. I think 3 years. It was funny, she was sending me pictures last night of hairstyles, and I don't like to stand out with anything real bold, like bold colors or too wild of a cut. And she says, let's do something fun. I said, no, I don't want to. And she was showing pictures of what she would like to do to my hair. And I sent her a picture of me from a video. I did a quick little shot of one of my older videos. I said, I just want this. And she's like, oh, you only live once. I said, no. So I want highlights. I don't color my hair yet. I guess when I get more gray I will, but I don't know. I don't have that much gray, so I just do highlights. And I need a haircut really bad. Like, it's in my face, and and that's another thing. She wants me to do bangs, and I told her I've tried bangs, but they really irritate me. Like, they annoy me. I don't like it tickling my forehead. My hair tickles my forehead, and they split because I have a cowlick right, off to one side a little bit. And I don't know. Bangs are, for me, I should say, high maintenance. So, I mean, she'll listen to whatever I want. She's not one of the hairdressers that is going to do what she wants to do, but she's just trying to give me some ideas of what she thinks would look good, which I appreciate that. I like to get input, but some of the hairstyles, I said, nope, I don't want that. I kind of want to blend in with the crowd. I don't want to stand out. Nothing crazy. Toby, it's me. He's thinking somebody's in the room, I guess. He's under the covers. I can't see him. Crazy dog. C. I also want to do some more of these little trinket boxes before it's time for me to go to the party, because I want to use one of them as a raffle gift. And I don't know if I'm going to do many games this time. It seems like I'm going to be really busy because there's going to be quite a few new people. And I'm also thinking about the table setup. Originally, I really loved the idea that the tables were close to each other but separated. And the more I think about it, and the past parties I had with when I used to do acrylic painting and doing like little paint parties, I always pulled the tables in a straight line, so you had people on both sides but lined up. And I could take the 4 tables in the clubhouse, and there's room for me to put all 4 tables together. And I'm thinking I might do that with as many new people as I have coming. Then I could stand at the front of the table and just show everybody at one time instead of bouncing from table to table. I'll do like I did with the paint parties. And even though they're going to have different projects going, I can just tell them things that relate to everybody's, the basics, like setting up, kitting up, how to place your diamonds. A lot of them don't even know how to start. When that one table got started before I was ready, because I had people coming in and they had already sat down with their canvas, they couldn't understand how to get the diamonds to stick to their pen, and they had their little glue or wax, but they didn't take the cover off of it. So it's things that you think that everybody knows, but sometimes there's things that they just have to be told one time, and then, okay, and that's how it was with them. As soon as I showed them that you peel back that little cover on it, then you can dip your pen into it. And so, yeah, the more I think about it, and I always get there early so I can get everything set up. And I am going to tell them too when they start arriving, not to start, that we're all going to start together, and to just, be patient, and let's, of course, if we have stragglers come in, I'm not going to make them wait, but I am going to try to start by 1:10. The party starts at 1. So if everyone gets there before then, of course, we'll start, but I just don't want people to be at different phases or doing things that, might make more work for them in the end. And I have to see how many baggies I have, because when they kit up, they're going to be putting their diamonds in baggies that I have that they can write on. They're those special kind for pills, and they're very inexpensive, but they have a place on the front of the baggie that's more like a matte finish, and you can use a Sharpie and it won't smear. So they can label their drills and organize them that way. So I learned a little bit, from the first one, and moving forward for this next one, I'm going to make those slight tweaks, little changes to help things go smoother, which fortunately I only had 6 people that time. So it was, pretty manageable. But if I would have had even if I would have had 12, that would have been a little stressful, because unless they already know how to diamond paint, trying to reach out to everyone, because everyone wants to get started. I mean, when you see all your diamonds and you've got your canvas in front of you, you want to get started on it. You don't want to just sit there and really wait. So they're going to have to, though. And I'm going to organize things a little bit better. Like with the name tags, I'm going to put the name tag at each setting so that I don't forget to give them one. So when I set up the tables, I'm pretty much going to have everything at each setting except for the canvas and the tool pack, you know, the tray with everything that they need in it. They can get that when they get their canvas. But as far as their raffle ticket, their, what else was I thinking? Their name badge. I already have the pens, you know, the Sharpies at their table. In their toolkit, they get a little mini scissors, which they can take home, all that, but they need to bring it back each time they attend a get-together or party. One of the girls said, do you need any extra trays and wax and stuff? Because she's been buying, since our last party, she's been buying a lot of diamond paintings and working them. She's shown me her progress and her completions. And so I thanked her. I said, yeah, anything you don't use or want, you know, feel free to donate it to my stash and I'll donate it out to the community. So I think I got all the F's. There weren't that many F's. So I love that kind of stuff, though, planning and organizing and doing things that give people a smile, give them something to do in their free time. I mean, there's nothing like learning a craft that you love. You know, I know when I first started diamond painting, I just loved it. I still do. And so many people who are unsure, well, I'm sure they will love it too. I mean, it's hard not to. Now, there's a lot of people that aren't crafters. They don't really like to do crafts. And I know because in my family, there's a bunch of them that don't like to do crafts. And it's hard for me to wrap my head around it because I do love crafts of all kinds. But, you know, everybody's different. Different likes and hobbies. I haven't had any young people come. You know, when I say young, I mean like teenagers. I've opened it up to 12 and older, but I haven't had anybody in that age bracket. I think the youngest has been maybe in their 30s. So we'll see if we can get some teenagers out. And you know, I see when I'm in Miichael's, I see the young girls, and Dollar Tree too, these young kids begging their parents for like these paint by numbers and these boxed crafts that are, you know, prepackaged. And I just think to myself how much they would love to come to my party, but, you know, I can't say, hey, come to my party, or I want to tell them about diamond painting. Hey, have you tried diamond painting? You really love it. And they're like 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds, and some of them are younger, like 9 and 10. And I hold my tongue because, like, I'm not going to get involved in that, but I think diamond painting, though, is getting more popular. I really do, because when I go to the store and I see more and more shelves full of diamond paintings, I mean, people must be buying them if the stores are getting more and more in than what they used to, because a year and a half, Walmart and Michael's barely had any to choose from. In fact, Walmart didn't have any, and Michael's had maybe 6 to 8 designs to choose from. And I might even be overestimating that. But I remember picking out the 2 that I picked out a year and a half ago. And I was kind of like, yeah, out of all those, I like these the best. You know, it wasn't like, ooh, I like that one. Oh, I like that one. It was like narrowing it down from my least favorite to my, this one's okay. And now the aisle is from one end to the other is just filled with diamond paintings and off canvases. So they must be seeing an increase in sales, which is great. But I haven't heard of anyone else doing paint parties with diamond painting. I'm sure they're out there, and I know that there is a Facebook site that is for people that want to, you'd have to travel, but if you want to go to a diamond painting party, they have special rates for the hotel that they're holding the paint party in, or nearby hotels, and everyone just gets together and diamond paints. And I mean, people are paying money, a pretty penny, to go to these, and they take reservations and everything. And it's not something that I would necessarily do. I think it would be fun, but considering the travel and the cost, and you have to get a hotel room, and I'm sure they do other things. I can't really remember exactly what they do, but I think they do, meals together. They try out different restaurants, but the main thing, it's like any kind of convention, like if you're doing a bingo trip where they have bingo at the hotel for 2 or 3 days in a row, and they have accommodations at a discounted price. I know Vegas has something like that at the Plaza, but anyway, I think people can do it locally with if they really wanted to, get together, they could find people interested and, arrange for a place and time that they could all meet. It takes some work, though, getting it together. I don't know what mine are going to end up being, if it's going to carry on for any amount of time. I know we were planning to do it once a month, but I just have to wait and see if the interest remains. And, of course, I won't do it if I don't have a lot of interest. But if I have 3 or 4 people, I would continue doing it. But if it just drops down to 1 or 2 people, I don't know. I don't know if I would continue. Oh, my bird is still singing away. to remember that video he's watching because he really likes it. Some of the videos just have birds chirping and being outdoors, doing their thing, and other videos have music in the background while the birds are chirping lightly in the background. And the music is very repetitive. So sometimes it's good, you know, like relaxing, and sometimes it's like, oh, I can't listen to this tune anymore. And my grandson's so funny because he's very musical. He loves music. And he picks up, you know, he hears it and right away he starts humming it. And then later on, we'll be walking through a store or doing something outside and he'll start humming that song. And I'm just like, no, not that one. But they have piano music usually in the background of the bird relaxation videos, and he loves that. Sometimes they have violin, and he enjoys it as much as the bird. And I think it's good for the dogs, you know, playing this relaxation, these videos for the bird, I think helps my dogs too. Well, I think that I'm going to continue to diamond paint, but I'm going to end this video. I hope you guys have a great day today. Stay out of the heat, hydrate, and I will see you guys later. Bye.